Imagine opening a store today, one small shop with 200,000 naira, another big supermarket with 5 million naira. 6 months later, one is struggling to survive, the other is printing money daily. Here is the twist, it's not the one you think. Before we break it down, hit subscribe and like this video if you want more real business breakdowns like this. No sugar coating, just what actually works. In this video, we are going deep: provision store versus supermarket, startup costs, profit margins, daily sales reality, hidden expenses nobody tells you, and most importantly, which one is actually smarter to start in Nigeria today. If you've ever thought about opening a shop, this might save you from losing money. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which business fits your budget, which one gives faster cash flow, which one scales better, and which one can quietly drain your money if you are not careful. Let's get into it. So let's start with, what is a provision store? A provision store is that small shop in your street. Bread, indomie, milk, sugar, soft drinks, biscuits, toiletries, fast moving everyday items. It's simple, low setup, high daily turnover. Most customers are your neighbors. They don't plan to shop there, they just need something quickly. That is the power. Impulse buying, convenience, urgency. Now, here is something most people don't realize. Provision stores are not built on big profits per item. They are built on volume and consistency. You sell small, but you stay constantly. If you are currently running a provision store or planning to start one, drop provision in the comments. I want to see you is serious. Now, let's talk about what is a supermarket. Supermarkets are bigger space, better shelves, more products, more structure. From groceries to household items to sometimes frozen foods, customers don't just come to buy one thing, they come to shop in bulk. That sounds good, right? But here is the truth. More products means more money locked inside the business, and that changes everything. Now let's talk about startup cost comparison. Let's be real, this is where most people make the decision. For provision store, you can start with as low as 100k to 300k, even less if you are smart. For supermarkets, you are looking at 2 million naira to 10 million naira minimum. Shop rate alone can finish you. Shelves, fridge, generator, branding, stock, everything is expensive. So immediately one thing is clear. Provision stores are easier to enter. Supermarkets are capital heavy. Now let's talk about profit margin breakdown. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Provision store profit margins include small per item but high turnover. You might make 20 naira, 15 naira, 100 naira per item but sell hundreds daily. For supermarkets, margin sometimes is slightly higher but slower movement on many items. Some products will sit for weeks, some even expire. That is silent loss. Quick one, if you are learning something new already, like this video, it helps the algorithm push this to more people who want to start businesses but don't know where to begin. Now let's talk about daily cash flow reality, and this is where provision store shines. We have daily cash flow, money tonight, constant sales, small but steady money. But supermarkets, not always. Some days can be dry, especially if location is not strong. And when money is not coming in daily, pressure builds. Now, let's talk about location advantage. Provision stores can survive almost anywhere: street corners, residential areas, even inside compounds. Supermarkets need visibility, traffic, parking, accessibility. If location is wrong, supermarket suffers badly. Now let's talk about risk level. Provision store risk include low, they are low risk. Even if things go wrong, losses are smaller. Supermarket risk, they are high. One bad decision can lock millions, expire goods, low patronage, high running costs, and so on. Now let's talk about hidden costs nobody talks about. Supermarket has silent killers. We have electricity for freezers, staff salaries, security, maintenance, spoilage. But for provision store, it's minimal overhead. That's why many survive longer. Now, talking about scalability, supermarkets scale better long term. We talk about branding, multiple branches, structured growth, and for provision store, it's harder to scale but easier to multiply, meaning you can open more small shops. Now, talking about customer behavior, provision store customers, they are quick buyers, they are repeat buyers, and of course, there is daily interaction. But supermarket customers, They are planned buyers, bulk buyers, and less frequent visits. If you want me to break down exactly how to start either business step by step, comment start. I'll create a detailed guide for you. Now, talking about competition reality, provision stores face heavy competition. Almost every street has one, but demand is always there. Supermarket has fewer competitors, but higher expectations. Now, let's talk about profit speed. Provision store has faster return on investment. Supermarket has slower return but long-term play. Talking about management stress, provision store is simple, often owner managed, and supermarket is complex. It needs staff, it needs monitoring, and of course, it involves more stress. Talking about inventory control, provision store requires small stock. It's easy to track, while supermarkets involves huge inventory and easy to lose control. Now let's talk about real profit truths. Here is the honest truth. Provision stores make money quietly. Supermarkets look more attractive, but they don't always perform better. Now, let's talk about when a provision store wins. It involves low capital, good location, high population area, and strong daily demand. Then, when a supermarket wins, it involves high capital, prime location, good management, and strong branding. Now, talking about biggest mistake people make, starting a supermarket to impress people, not because the business makes sense. That's how money gets lost. Now, let's talk about smart strategy. Start small, grow gradually. Don't jump into big expenses too early. And talking about hybrid model, some people combine both. Start with provision store, expand into mini supermarkets. That's the smarter part, if you ask me. And if this opened your eyes, don't just watch and leave. Subscribe because I break down real businesses like this with no fluff. Also, share this with someone planning to open a shop. You might save them millions. Provision store or supermarket both can work, but only if you understand the game. The smartest entrepreneurs don't just start businesses, they choose the right one for their situation. See you in the next video.